It's the number one nightmare for every homeowner planning a move. You're ready to sell your house here on the Treasure Coast and looking to buy a new home out of state. But what happens if you sell the house here too fast and can't find a new one in time? Will you be homeless, living out of a hotel with your family, while all of your stuff sits in a storage unit? Or even worse, what if you do find that dream home out of state first, and then the Florida house sits on the market for 90 or 120 days before it sells? And now you're stuck making two mortgage payments at the same time. Well, if you're planning to leave the area this year, stop stressing. Because today, I'm going to show you the exact strategies that we use to help time your move perfectly, protect all of your equity, and keep a roof over your head the entire time. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ronnie Dinsmore, and I specialize in helping sellers right here on the Treasure Coast, from Vero Beach to Palm City and everywhere in between, maximize their profits and navigate a stress-free major move. If you're thinking about relocating and want to know exactly how to pull it off in 2026, whether it's local or out of state, make sure to hit that subscribe button and we'll cover how to do that. Now, let's dive right into your options today. The absolute most powerful position that you can be in is to have the cash from your current home sitting in the bank account before you ever go shopping for your next one. But what if you don't want to move twice? How can we possibly do that? Well, we can use what's called a post-occupancy agreement or a rent back. And here's how that works. We list your home here on the Treasure Coast on the market. We find a great buyer and go under contract with them. Now, when we get to the closing table, the transaction is completely finalized. Your mortgage is paid off in full, and you get your full proceeds from the closing. But instead of handing the keys over that day, we have a legal agreement known as the leaseback in place that allows you to remain in the home for 30, 60, sometimes even 90 days. Now, that gives you time to fly out to the new state, shop for your home as a cash buyer, or with a high amount of cash on hand and a well-qualified buyer, and no contingencies. It lets you move straight forward with the purchase, and it gives you all of the power while having zero risk of double mortgage. Now, what if the buyer doesn't want to be a landlord for those 60 to 90 days? That brings us to strategy number 2, an extended closing. A standard real estate transaction takes about 30 to 45 days on average here in Florida. But there is no law that says that we have to close in that timeline. If we have a highly desirable home here on the Treasure Coast, we can dictate the terms. When a buyer makes an offer, we simply counter their offer by pushing the closing to when we want it to be. This puts your home safely under contract. You know exactly what you'll be netting from the sale and your exact move-out date. You can take that contracted timeline to your new state and confidently put an offer on your new home and then align the closing dates to have them both happen in the same exact week. But we do have to consider the other side if you absolutely refuse to list your home in Florida until you have that dream home found out of state. Now that brings up strategy number 3, buying your new home with a contingency of the sale of your house here on the Treasure Coast. This means that you find your home in your new state and then you submit an offer with a contingency basically saying, I plan on buying this house, but not until the place in Florida sells first. Now, if the market you're moving to is competitive, I have to be honest with you, it's going to be harder to get a strategy like that to execute. Sometimes sellers don't like accepting contingent offers because it puts their timeline entirely at mercy of your sale here in Florida. If you are going to use that strategy, then your home here on the Treasure Coast needs to be in absolute pristine condition. We need to price it aggressively, and we need to have it ready to hit the market the same day that you submit your offer for the out-of-state purchase. You cannot afford to test the market with a high price and just see what happens. You're relying on a contingency to purchase the new home, and you don't want that to fall through. Now, every relocation is a giant puzzle, and the right strategy depends on how much equity you have, where you're moving to, and your personal risk tolerance. Don't try to guess the timeline on your own. If you're planning to leave the Treasure Coast in the next 6 to 12 months, Let's start building your blueprint now. Call or text me using the number in the description below, and we can map out your exact timeline from listing to packing. You can also grab my free seller guide in the link below. And if you're wondering what it's actually going to cost you to sell your home in this market, click on the video right here where I break down all of the hidden costs of selling your home. Can't wait to see you over there.